I'm getting ready to open up my third delivery of trees for the year. This batch of trees I purchased from Tai Nursery. It's the first purchase from that nursery, and actually all three so far have been new places to buy trees from. I'm always trying, different companies, different nurseries. And I'm gonna open up the box here and see how the trees look. Always use a fair amount of care because you don't want to damage your trees. So everything looks fine so far. They've got a lot of protection around the trees. So all the roots are in here, wrapped in moist newspaper, and they've got protection around the trees, and some more padding there, some more protection there. It looks like they've got the trees pretty much ready to go. I always go along after I plant them, and I'll probably prune them back even further. Maybe not a necessity, but there's just something about doing it yourself. And let's see here, I got some wildlife chestnut trees, some Kieffer Pear trees, and some pawpaw trees. So this is my first year in planting pawpaws, and I'll see how they turn out. One thing about pawpaws is it's not a must, but you should plant a variety to get the best pollination, at least 3 different varieties. But the trees look good. I'm fairly pleased with the way they're packed up. They're definitely dormant, which is what you want, and I'll get these in the ground here as soon as I can. I can't today anymore, but in a day or two, or within a week for sure, I'll be getting them in the ground. In the meantime, I'll store them in a dark place, out of sunlight, and in a cool temperature. So today I'm going to be planting some Kieffer pear trees and a pawpaw, and then another location I'm going to be doing some crabapple trees, a couple chestnuts. And I'm often tempted with the thought, I should have started 10-12 years ago. Why start now? So I'm in my 30s, and if these trees are ever taken off, I'll be probably heading the other way as far as right now I'm in the best shape I ever probably will be. So but anyway, there's no better time than the present to plant trees, and if I won't enjoy them, hopefully somebody will, my kids will, or the next property owner. But I already tried to enhance this area a little bit. There's a couple persimmon trees, and I got some pawpaws already planted, and also have a little 1/4 acre kill plot over there. And up behind me here, up on the other side of that hill, at the top of it, I want to go in there and plant several hundred pines. I'll probably plant white pine, kind of a toss-up right now between them and Norway spruce. But I need to do something. The previous landowner logged the property, and it's just all open up there. There's not enough cover to hold the deer, and that's what it's all about. My property is long and skinny, and so I need to enhance the property to help the deer bed on it. And the more I can keep the deer on my property, the better my chances are of success, filling the freezer with delicious meat. And the more I keep the deer on my property, the more food I have, the more I'm able to advance the bucks to the next age class. And if I can give them a lot of security through the hunting season, help them stay on my ground, and then I can help them survive another year till they're mature. So there's just a lot of little things that you can do to make your property hunt better, to make it more attractive to wildlife, more attractive to deer. And I'm going to get some trees in the ground. I am pushed for time, So I will not be, putting a cage around them. I'm doing, I think, all cages, and I'll compare in a few years, tubes versus cages, how the trees, which ones they're doing the best in. I'm already worried about these tubes that the bears will, play with them and beat them up. I've already had some trouble with that. Plant a pair right here. And I'll plant a pair here and on that way. I'll put another tree in or so. We'll get this thing on the ball, get it rolling. Let me get this hole started. If you got a $10 tree, dig a $100 hole. I'd say that's a $100 hole if I ever saw one. I'll show it to you. I don't want to go too crazy with it, but you got to have a good hole. And I'll maybe work that soil up a little bit more, get nice and loose for the roots to take hold. I'll get some topsoil and throw in there, and I'll get that tree in the ground. Alright, I'll get my tree. I'm fairly pleased with this. This is a Kieffer Pear from Tai Nursery, and it's got pretty good root system. I'm gonna get it in the ground there. I usually don't buy them. This tree is probably 3 feet tall. I like to get smaller ones just because I feel like they're easier to have better success with. But I got a lot of trees to plant, so I got to keep a move on. You want to pack the dirt in tight around the roots and then water it good, get all the air pockets out. Always puts me in a good mood to work with nature. Get your hands dirty and get grounded. What I did was make a little indentation here. When the water comes running downhill, it'll gather in there. Help get some water into the tree roots. Okay. I got water in the tree next, but first I'll show you what it looks like. So there's my Kieffer Pear. I got it, the dirt, packed in pretty good around the roots. I'm gonna water it. And here I left kind of a low spot. And the idea is I'll fill it in some, but for the, as the water runs off down the mountain, it'll, gather in there some, and it'll help water the tree when things dry out. But I want a little deeper right now because I want the roots I want to add a lot of water to it, try and get all the air pockets out of the soil. And once the water soaks in there, I'll go back 10-15 minutes and fill that in a little bit, and then I'll come back in either later tonight or tomorrow, put a cage around the tree. I'll put a mat down to keep the competing vegetation away from it. There's a lot of stilt grass growing in here, which I'll probably come in here in a couple weeks and spray it with Oust. It's a pre-emergent. That'll take care of that problem. But yeah, I'll water this thing in next. press that down, try to get any air out of the soil. And then what I'll do is I'll let that water soak in, and I'm going to go dig another hole, plant another tree, and I'll come back, add a little more water, and maybe do that another time, a couple more times, and try to get that tree off to a good start. But I'll yeah, do what I can. We're supposed to get rain tonight, tomorrow. That's why I'm trying to get these trees in the ground in a hurry. And you know, they need planted. I was hoping to put it off a couple more days, but when I inspected them, they definitely need in the ground as soon as possible. So I'm going to try and do just that.